property is rezoned to PUD, they will submit that site plan, but the site plan will just come to the staff. So you'll always know, you'll know what's going to be there based on the site plan that you approve in that preliminary step with the planning commission review, the city council review, and then we're proposing.
Andy, hold on here, I'm trying to follow this, and I'm getting confused.
Sure.
So bear with me, I know it's sort of late at night here. Initially, we get the PUD, and we designate whether or not the PUD becomes a new zone.
Yes.
Then, at the same time, we could get a PUD site plan, is that correct? Or we may get it at a subsequent meeting.
You would get it all at once.
All at once, so that would come all at once.
Yes.
So the initial site plan would come along with the PUD
Yes.
designation.
Yes, because the rezoning to PUD would, I mean, it's part and parcel with the actual physical development plan of the property. Yeah.
Okay.
So those two are going to be one and the
And
same.
then if we approve those, then what you're proposing is that after that's been approved by us and by the city council, at that point, anything else that comes in would just go straight to you because it has to follow that original plan.
Yes.
And if it doesn't follow the original plan, it gets thrown out or thrown back.
It's either back to you for an amendment, or it's back starting over through the entire process, or it's just a no if they can't do it for some reason. So I don't anticipate that would happen that much, but you never know. So this 3, 4, 5, and 6 here eliminate that last step, so it just accelerates that process by hopefully what's just a few weeks on the part of the applicant, but they're not bound by submission deadlines and so on and so forth.
Correct.
So you'll see under subsection 3, it just says, if it substantially conforms, it shall be approved by the city. It says that shall be reviewed administratively by the zoning enforcement officer and other applicable city personnel. In cases where it's not clear whether it substantially conforms or not, the zoning enforcement officer shall refer it to the planning commission for final approval. So if they give us something that's maybe not quite what we thought it was going to be, we can send it to you again, so it gets back out in public, and then you guys can see it and make a final call. And then 5 and 6, if there's a PUD that has additional standards in there, if the PUD contains a special land use, like if, I don't know why that would be, but let's say there's a Airbnb or a McDonald's or a Burger King in it, to use tonight's examples, those would still have to go through that special land use review process. They could do all that concurrently all at the same time if they wanted to, or they could wait and do that at the end at their option. And then similarly, a lot of PUDs are also site condominiums, or they contain private roads, or they contain subdivision plats, which all require their own set of review procedures. And so in those instances, those still apply. They still have to go through that process. And how that works out and the speed at which that takes place kind of depends on how they turn stuff in. So 15.3 concurrent review is gone. So the new 1513 is approved PUDs, which is, I think, entirely unchanged. Yes, unchanged. So that is a summary of the amendment. I will, just for information, I did review this on Friday and with the city attorney. We made a handful of changes, all very minor in nature, nothing that would substantially affect the process here. So the city attorney has seen it, and so if you opt to approve this tonight following the public hearing and public comment, so go to the Lowell City Council meeting presumably on Monday, a week from tonight.
And commissioners, any questions, first of all? I'd like to open it up to the public. Any questions, concerns, thoughts?
Yeah.
Please give us your name and address.
My name is Jerry Zanstra. I'm one of the partners that are redoing the Unity School. So we thank you for your consideration for this.
Sure.
I'm a weak representative. My business partner, Todd, handles all of this. So I am way out of my comfort level. But, I can't disagree, Andy, with anything you said. So just wanted to thank you guys for make it a little easier for us.
Sure.
This
Thank
would
you.
be-
Thanks for your comments, we appreciate it. With any other public discussion, we will close the public portion of this hearing then. And I would entertain a motion to pass on to the city council our PUD ordinance, chapter 15 in essence, for their approval.
Make a motion for that.
I'll support.
Any discussion? Amy, voice vote, please.
Okay. Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
Commissioner Plank,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker,
Yes.
Commissioner Cadwalder,
Yes.
Commissioner Ellis,
Yes.
Commissioner Schraven,
Yes.
Three Mayor's absent.
Thank you. And as with all of the ordinances that we have gone through over the last, year and a half or almost 2 years, I guess, we started this process and we're moving through it at a fairly good clip, and I appreciate everybody's help. We are going to do the residential zoning districts next, and I think we want to take all those at one whack.
Yes, they are
my
all
drillers.
one great big amendment, so you can
Okay,
just,
and the way we'll present this to city council too would be the residential zoning district, so that's how we'll actually present it as well, okay? So you have to go through a lot of PUD stuff.
yes. So this other ordinance you have in front of you amends a few chapters, definitions. Primarily it amends chapters 5, 6, 7, 8, and to a lesser extent 9, and also a few other sections of the zoning ordinance. So we've been through all of this a few times.
Do we need to go through the definitions?
That
Anybody?
is up to you. We've not proposed to change anything.
I just see a lot of it highlighted here, so.
Yeah, that's from September. That's our September memo that we.
We've already gone through it, so that's why I'm saying,
Okay.
let's just skip the definitions then, since we've already gone through it. So that would bring us to chapter 5, SR, suburban residential district.
Yes. So what we did in each of these, and I think we've been through all this before, we had not made any significant changes here from our previous meeting. So some of the biggest things that we clarified here were like adult foster care family homes, adult foster care small group homes, child care family homes, clarifying what all those were, what all the definitions were, making sure that we're in compliance with the act.
Andy?
Are you guys
I don't mean
not
to-
confused here?
Yeah. Didn't we go over all this in September?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then,
All of our documentation says September on it.
Yeah.
Yes, we did all this in September. I think we talked about it in October, but we have to hold a public hearing before you can recommend it.
Right.
So that was.
so this is the cleaned up version of.
So,
Yes.
yeah, so the version that you should have, that there is nothing new at all
Okay.
from what you talked about previously.
Having said that, then, I'm fine with voting on it. If anybody else has any questions, we have no public here, so the public hearing is closed as of now.
It was much easier to read with everything.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Does anybody have any questions with the residential districts? If not, I would entertain a motion that we accept all of the residential zoning districts for presentation to the city council with our recommendation of acceptance. Do I have a motion to that effect?
I have a motion for that, yep.
And a second? Thank you. And discussion? Amy, voice vote, please?
Commissioner Schraven,
Yes.
Commissioner Ellis,
Yes.
Commissioner Cadwalder,
Yep.
Commissioner Barker,
Yes.
Commissioner Plank,
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
and Three Mayor is absent.
Thank you. And having said that, is there a staff report at all? Amy, you got anything to add? Okay. Andy?
Wayfinding signs are going up soon, so look out for that.
That's good. What?
Wayfinding signs, so you'll see There are there's some light blue signs that we designed. Most of them will be downtown. There'll be a few out on at Alden Nash. There'll be a couple at Foreman, but also be around downtown, just directing people and stuff. And we will be working on dates to be determined, and I think this was talked about at the council meeting, we'll be working on a master plan for rec park over by the old fairgrounds, so we'll be doing some design work on that over the winter working with a committee to kind of come up with a long-term future plan for that property.
I'll put my plug in. Anybody interested in being on that committee, contact the city hall.
I was gonna nominate you.
I've already taken my stance on it. Actually, my wife has applied, so
Oh, good.
even better.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The Dodge dealership, the site plan hasn't been modified, has it? The building seems a lot bigger than I remember that when it said on the site plan. It's
We have not modified the location of the building, so far
Size of
as.
it?
No, they modified some, nothing size-wise. They modified some materials, I think. We had a discussion about the location of the dumpster. Some minor, some trees and stuff, but no, the building itself is as it was
It was bigger
proposed.
in real life, I guess, right?
Yeah, they do tend to be large. Yeah, they're building one by my house. Same style of building, and they're pretty big.
Still have some trees to put in there
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah, and that might not happen given the weather
Right.
until
Well,
next spring.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, some of the other streetscape improvements, like just the sidewalk and all that stuff.
Sure.
I still feel like it's going to be significantly better.
It looks a lot nicer than it did, that's for sure.
I just think we were so used to seeing those cut up little buildings that now you've got, once another one's gone, now it'll look correct. So
Yeah, once it all is done, it'll look more balanced.
it's nice.
Having said that, we will make the recommendations to the city council next Monday. Marty, are you going to be there for sure? Okay, because Andy may or may not be there, and I may or may not be there, so we need somebody to,
I'll be there.
William, okay. We just need somebody to make sure that we make the recommendation. This is the ongoing portion of our updates for the zoning ordinances, and obviously it's a big chunk of it, so.
So Wayne is gonna get up and make the motion.
Well, if I'm there, I'll be happy to do it if I'm there. I just don't know if I'll be there, so.
Okay.
Okay. Any other staff? Dave, lead us off. You always have.
I am good. Ready to go.
Mr. Plank.
What's up?
Marty.
Glad to be back in my seat. Last month I was in Colorado. I didn't want to come home, but I had to. We had bills to pay. Christmas through Lowell. Just everybody attend and we'll have a lot of fun. So,
Man,
I have more of a question. Last fall, we had a joint planning commission meeting with us in the townships. Is that something that,
have not heard a word this year.
okay. I didn't know who was supposed to host this year, if it was gonna happen.
it should have been Lowell Township Week.
Yeah, I have not heard a word, nothing.
Or no, excuse me, it's Virginia, because we went.
Yeah,
We went to
Lowell
Township.
Yeah, I have not heard a word.
I can ask Jeannie, I'm the Virginia's Township planner too, so I can ask her if there's a date set for that. But yeah, I think it's once a year, I believe they do that, so.
It's usually right around now.
Yeah, I just
I
wondered, because
will-
it's about this.
Yeah,
time of
I'll,
year.
I'll ask her next time I talk to her and pass along whatever I hear.
Tell her she's got to buy the lobster.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Tony?
I'm good.
Oh,
Oh,
do you still write the
Me?
city hall letter?
Newsletter, yes.
Did I tell you about this? Our planning commission was scheduled for last Monday. There was no date for the planning commission.
Yeah, I was told it was a typo.
Well, I'm assuming that's it. It just missed the date. So if you look there, there's no date. So it looked like we were under November the 5th, I guess, Marty, like you, I was out of town for a couple of weeks over in England, so I enjoyed myself greatly over there, and I didn't have to worry about you guys, so this was good. I do have to take a special moment, though, to thank you so much. I mean, obviously, between Andy and all of you guys, and going through all of these ordinances, it's a long sled. And, you know, it does take some dedication, obviously.
It's scared
sometimes.
Kelly.
Well, I know. I feel sorry for her. She jumped right in the middle of it. Well, you know, we've got a lot of new members here, frankly, and I really mean that. It's not easy sledding, but this is about as bad as it gets. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot worse.
I think it's that.
You know, unless we have an applicant for the site plan that, you know, everybody's against and therefore. So that's about the only thing that can be worse than going through a lot of this stuff. So I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, though. Happy holidays to all. With that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion we adjourn at, what we got, 9, or 8,
8:53.
3.
yeah, I'll go with that.
I'll second it.
All in favor, please say aye. We stand adjourned.